Hey everybody, it's me again, Adam Chapnick with the Security Token Academy, and we're here in Los Angeles for CIS 2019, and we are joined by friend of the show, Mr. Henry James, the Deputy CEO of Fincross. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so for everybody who hasn't heard of Fincross yet, tell us what you are and how you came to be.
Sure, Fincross International is a digital asset-focused investment bank. We've come about from two co-founders, myself included. My background's in investment management and trading foreign exchange. So really, the entry for us came thanks to the crypto market, the volatility of the crypto market. We had the plan to launch a crypto hedge fund, and we were then identified by officials in Mauritius, the beautiful island of Mauritius, to launch an investment bank that could take full advantage of regulatory frameworks for digital assets from their jurisdiction. So that's where we are. For the last 2 years, we've been building the company together. We've onboarded a senior leadership team based on bankers, people that are very experienced in the securities world as well. And of course, now with the emergence of the security token market last year, this is really the key market for us to kind of penetrate our market and our target audience in the US and Asia.
So you have an interesting niche, because there's not a lot of companies that portray themselves as digitally focused investment banks. How does that make what you do unique?
Sure, I mean, in the market today, we like companies like Galaxy Digital, Diginex out of Hong Kong, SIBA is another one of our peers in Switzerland. And these are investment banks that are focusing on digital assets. How we vary is that we're actually producing a lot of our own proprietary technology, because we believe that an investment bank dealing with digital assets has to be able to rely on its own technologies to deliver on the trading and the liquidity, the production of liquidity for products in this market. So really, we're joining that group of great companies. Like I said, we're at HQ in Mauritius, but our management team is currently spread across the US, the UK, and Dubai, and with a view also to launch a branch in Hong Kong later this year.
So maybe a silly question, but will you be able to do deals everywhere, or do you have certain jurisdictions that you're able to operate?
Well, basically our investment banking license in Mauritius doesn't limit us to where we can do business, but naturally in certain markets, let's say like in the US, obviously for us to sell security tokens, we'll have to either work with a broker-dealer or acquire a broker-dealer license ourselves. So we're in the process of doing that right now. We're just right now activating our investment banking license in Mauritius. We received an approval for that license in November last year, and kind of from this period moving forwards, we'll start onboarding clients for the first time.
Got it. Now, we've been talking about sort of your travels, and you've got a really unique insight from your global focus to how people are responding, or the different appetites for security tokens and being involved in the space from different places around the world. What are you seeing in Asia in particular from maybe both sides of the deal?
Yeah, so I think that the security token market's being driven from an innovation standpoint here in the US. The Asian markets are kind of just a little bit a wait-and-see approach. Let's watch the Americans do this, and then kind of catch on once we see some momentum coming out of the US. But that said, they are still very sophisticated, understand the market well, and the potential for this market. We all identify that the security token market is going to dwarf the size of the cryptocurrency market, and that sentiment is felt also in Asia, where crypto is very popular and probably more popular than it is here in the States. But we've spoken with multi-billion-dollar asset managers in Asia with mandates to buy security tokens now. I think they're still exploring what kind of products they want to buy, but they do see it as a means to have greater and wider access to investment products in different parts of the world, which otherwise through traditional markets would be harder to access.
Is there any type of asset that they have a predilection for? Are they most interested in real estate or something else?
Real estate is up there.
It's real estate.
Real estate is up there, but not. It's not limited to that. We found there's two kind of trends that have emerged from the groups that we've spoken to around the world that are interested in security tokens. One trend is from institutional investors that are looking for more complex products that they can't buy and access through traditional markets. In other words, they're looking for a new investment product, and with, let's say, IRR of like 20%. So it's high, it's a high yield product. So whereas on the other hand, there's another client segment that's emerged, and their trend there is an investment mandate that is focused more on what I like to coin the vanilla security tokens, maybe real estate backed or precious metals backed or even oil backed, right? If people want to buy and access oil, trade oil, it's quite difficult for them to do that. So I think these kind of products appeal more to family offices and high net worth individuals. And you know, they have a different investment thesis. These guys are in the game of wealth preservation.
Yeah.
And the fund managers, of course, institutional guys are here to make some good returns.
So you're talking about these, there's something interesting you had shared with me earlier about these vanilla opportunities and sort of what the strategy is behind them. Can you talk a little bit about what you learned?
Yeah, okay, I know what you're asking me for here. So, yeah, when we probed a little bit deeper and we asked these groups, you know, why do you want these vanilla products, which you can buy in, by the way, much more liquid markets through traditional markets today? Why do you want to buy them in the form of security token? And their view is they're taking a medium to long-term view and saying once liquidity does come to this market, we will have the ability to trade asset for asset via the security token market. And that's huge. And I think that's a movement, an investment movement that's going to resonate also with millennial investors as the whole market grows and matures over the coming years.
Yeah, I think that's very exciting because I hadn't heard that yet. And the idea that it's what sounds like an innovative thing to do, but from the most conservative investors, that's kind of mind-blowing and exciting because it means
100%.
people are deeply understanding the space. And that to me is an indicator that it's going somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. And like we said, these are kind of investment mandates with completely different needs and objectives.
Yeah.
These guys are here to trying to reduce their exposure to cash, with their reliance on cash and sovereign currencies. They want to protect themselves in case of recessions, regional, recessions in different parts of the world that may affect themselves. And they see the security token market as being a market where they can actually start hedging some of their positions and diversifying their portfolio in a more efficient and cost-effective way.
Yeah, very exciting. Well, Henry, thanks so much for telling us about Fincross and sharing some of the things you're learning from your travels. This is going to be the first of many. We can't wait to have you back.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Cheers.